Hey everybody, Sive here with ForexPeaceArmy.com. Let's go back to the gold market. So in general, things that we discussed yesterday actually was going in the same way as we talked about. We suggested drop in the rising of the gold, and it was not actually very genius just because we know the demand for the safe haven stands, demand for the dollars, United States bonds. And in such circumstances, it's logical to suggest that gold should feel better than other financial markets, such as Forex, for example. And we are getting precisely what we talked about. At the same time, currently, despite that we are reading in the media, some analysis suggests that chance on the conflict is not very high in the Middle East. From the one point of view, yes, it seems a bit curious, so why United States were needed to accumulate so big power there and sending to air carriers a lot of planes and so on around Iran. It seems not quite logical to get such a spending of the money just to accumulate these powers. Usually this is not doing without a real intention to start the war. But at the same time, well, some intelligent forces tell that chances on the conflict are not really high. So mostly the information on the common conflict is coming from the Israel media. So, but actually this is not our business. Let's take a look what we have on markets. On the gold, based on price performance on the intraday charts, it seems that market finally starts showing some kind of the thrust and acceleration. And we can't exclude that this may be the starting point of the extension to the upside. At least some background exists for that, and we're trying to use it. On the gold market, we have very pleasant thing that we have the big weekly pattern, as we already mentioned a few times. It suggests taking out of this top. So from that standpoint of view, it's much more easy to trade it compared to euro or any other assets where I do not have this big pattern. Because we know the direction and it is easy to estimate and set the targets. Whatever target we will have inside of this range, we know that at some time all of them will be completed, if of course everything goes with the pattern. On the 4 time frame chart, market starts showing signs of the reversal. So we've got COP, ABCD retracement in the way that the guard is triple to buy. That was the area that we mentioned for possible long entry. Here's market shows the first bounce. Following this logic, next target should be 53.50. You could treat it as just as the ABCD, or you could plot here the butterfly, and 161 extension of this butterfly will precisely coincide with this target. So that's the next area that we'll be watching for. Speaking about hourly chart, here is also everything goes with the plan. So I personally totally satisfied with the things that I see. Hand shorts that we suggest has been formed. So short was a bit smaller, but shape you could recognize it well. First one is done. So market completed this ABCD. Now it's coming to the next neckline with a bigger pattern. Be prepared for this with this hand shorts. Right arm also might be smaller. If you have missed opportunity to go along here, that might be another chance. So market probably will reach the neckline around 50.45 approximately. And then just watch for a minor pullback here for possible entry with this pattern. Of course, risks, well, let's call it as entry risks. Entry risks is that we will not get the retracement and market just could keep going high and straight forward to the next target. It's also possible, but in this case we will try to find some other chance for entry on some pullback. That in towards what we have from the gold until the situation around the Iran remains unclear. Gold probably should feel well and will be on the surface, and we'll try to moving higher, I suppose. So let's see what will happen tomorrow.